So the image that we are editing today is actually one from the prior video that we did that was from the monster book. So if you haven't seen that video, please go back and watch it, where we made the monster book and then photographed it. It's such a cool little book, and I love it so much. The picture that we're editing, she basically looks like a witch inside of her little cottagecore house. So we are going to go ahead and give that an edit. Hopefully you enjoy it and you learn some things, and if not, I just hope that you enjoy it. All right, let's go. I'm going to cheat a little bit and use the subject selection tool, in which I actually should probably have not used that tool because I had to go back and clean it all up. Then I went to Adobe Stock and grabbed a cool background to put her in. The vibe for this picture was to make her look a little bit like a creepy witch, more than a little bit, a whole lot like a creepy witch, standing in her castle, standing in her little cottage house. That's what she's doing. All right, so what I will do next is I will take that image from Adobe Stock, pop it into Photoshop, and give it a nice blur to make it look like it is being taken with maybe a camera, because cameras make that blur in the background, and that was the goal here. So my next thing that I'm going to do is I'm actually going to start messing around with her fingers. My big thing in my head that I had when I went to start all these images is that I wanted it to look like a creepy, like she had really long and pointy fingers. So I will be going into the liquify tool and adjusting and editing that and making it look like she has long, creepy, pointy fingers that are maybe a little too skinny, and maybe like if you actually were around her, it would be really genuinely creepy to be around. I'm also going to do that to some other parts of her body, like her wrist and a little bit of her neck. I'm also going to make her eyes a little bit bigger as well. All right, and I am super happy with the way she looks. The next step is to get the background kind of all color corrected to make it look like everybody fits in the scene. And once the background is color corrected, it's her turn. Next, I'm going back to Adobe Stock, grabbing some fire, and I'm going to put it in her hand and make it look like she is holding some fire. Then once I add that fire in, I'm going to go around the room, her body, everything, and add in the correct glow and the correct shadowing and highlighting to make it look like the fire is in her hand and casting out the light that it would if it was actually glowing in her hand. Next, I'm going to go through the whole image and try and just color correct some things I might have missed and just do some small adjustments and really make sure everything works in that image. And the last thing that I'm going to do is take the image and combine it all into one final looking piece up at the top of all of my layers, and I'm going to turn that into a smart object and then go into the camera raw settings and adjust some of the camera raw settings to make it look even more epic, and then we are done. So join me next week whenever I will be hopefully editing this photo actually in the studio and not here in my apartment, when my computer actually lets me use it to edit things. That little pesky devil. All right, until then, I hope that you enjoy this edit. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you later.